Hi everyone, I'm Julie Ireland and I'm a GTD coach. And one of the things that I love to do as a GTD coach is work with my team members in making these videos. It very much is a team effort. And one of the things that we're continuously doing is kind of mining our worlds individually and collaboratively for topics to share. And, a lot of that comes out of our own practices, as you'll hear. A lot of times it comes out of coaching, engagements, and then sometimes it comes from our audience. So this is really the focus of my video today is based on a comment that we received in early January. So in early January, I did a video on kind of my kind of nuanced aspects of the weekly review. And one of our wonderful audience members wrote a question that was not really about the weekly review, it was about a different topic. And so I wanted to just, make sure that person knows we heard you and address that here. And just, as a side note, we do love the comments, we love the feedback, we love the questions. So it also just helps us kind of really be creative and collaborative in terms of how we can best serve you in this way. So the question was, so especially considering the current time of year we are in, I would love if you could talk a bit about how do goals and resolutions fit in the GTD system. I find myself very confused on how to integrate GTD with my goals and 12-week goals, and especially habit tracking. How am I supposed to do it? Thank you. So thank you for the question. And I'm going to kind of compartmentalize it really into two parts. So the habit tracking part of it is where it's a little outside of my expertise as a GTD coach. I really want to talk about the goal part of it, which is a huge part of the Getting Things Done practice. But in terms of addressing the habit question, there are just such great resources out there. I mean, off the top of my head, James Clear, Atomic Habits, BJ Fogg, Charles Duhigg, there are such great resources and planners and ways to help people individually understand how they get motivated for their own habits and how to track them. So I'm going to kind of leave that to those subject matter experts and really focus on the goals part. So it was interesting, the question, it said, I would love if you could talk a bit how do goals and resolutions fit in the GTD system? So part of the GTD system is, the control piece, which is the 5 steps. It's really, how we keep things under control day to day: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, engage. And then there's the vertical axis, which we refer to as horizons of focus. So I have, the bottom is my action level, which is kind of where we live day to day: projects, areas of focus, goals, vision, and purpose. So I'm going to relate more specifically to goals, which we look at in terms of what are things in my world right now that I want to see, create, experience, etc., in the next 1 to 2 years. So, that timeline is obviously subjective. I mean, we say 12 to 24 months, that for some people that's shorter in, but we're kind of making the distinction between goals and vision, which is the next level above, which was more longer term. So maybe the next 3 to 5 years. So we look at goals as like, okay, it's January 2025. What do I want to maybe see happen or create, like I said earlier, within the framework by the end of this year or by the middle or end of 2025? So, one way I find it kind of be a nice way to do that is to start with Horizon 2. So our areas of focus: career, health, home, finances, relationships, and kind of just really, doing a review of each of those and going, okay, in the next 1 to 2 years, what doesn't exist yet that I would really like to see happen? So, one example I talked about in one of the videos that I did with Mary O'Malley is my bone density. So I just have had, kind of got like the school of hard knocks information from some tests I had done in the fall about my bone density. So I have a very specific goal. So by the end of 2025, I really need to at least preserve, if not attempt to. There's a lot of different theories about if you can grow bone density versus just keep it as it is, but that I have a goal about that. And it's a good example, like sometimes goals are more quantifiable. Like I want to be 10 pounds lighter by the end of the year, or 20 pounds lighter, or something like that. Versus sometimes goals are a bit more qualifiable. It's like I want to increase the quality of something, but we're really looking at, this point in the future that I'm going to be able to like say that's done, kind of like a project. It's just further out. And I need to put that into my system in some form that's externalized, that I'm reviewing consistently. So the review mechanism that we recommend, if we look at that vertical axis, day to day, we're looking at calendar and action lists. Weekly, we're looking at our projects, making sure there's a next action. Monthly areas of focus to kind of make sure that we have the appropriate projects and actions in alignment with that. And then quarterly, looking at goals and vision. We say quarterly, of course, you can do it more often. I don't necessarily recommend weekly, but for some people, reviewing their goals monthly is a really great way to make sure, A, that it's still on track. Like, is this thing still important to me? And B, do I have the appropriate project/outcome with the appropriate action to move it forward? So it's really that review mechanism, like all of this, that really keeps us on track. So we define the goal and we stay on track with that review to just make sure, that's the insurance policy, right? That I'm on track. And how I am doing the goal is via a project and then the next action for that project. If I want to have this kind of bone density on cruise control, really by the end of 25, my first project is just to do research. Like I really know precisely zero, except for what I'm sharing here about this topic. So my first project related to that goal is get a good education. So that's my first project. I always make sure I have at least one project on my list in service to those goals. So once again, I hope this helps. I hope this answers the question. And if it doesn't, I definitely want to hear about that. And thanks again for watching. Take care.
For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website gtdfocus.com/contact.